All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom. This brother Obadiah from New Wine Congregation, and I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shemiah Shai. Right, Yahweh is the name of who the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of who the world calls Jesus Christ. And I'm finna do a lesson touching on 2nd Maccabees chapter 7. For those that may have not read of known about 2nd Maccabees and 1st Maccabees, it's part of the Apocrypha. 14 books. It was 14 books in Apocrypha that was taken out of your Bible, because they're trying to hide a lot of things. But if you get the King James 1611 Bible, the Apocrypha is in there. And you also can get the KJVA app, and that has the Apocrypha on your phone, so you don't really have to go buy it. I suggest you still buy it though, so you can have a hard copy, because your phone, you're not gonna always have your phone on you and things like that. But yeah, 1st and 2nd Maccabees is going into the Greek captivity during the time of our people, the Israelites, who was in captivity under the Grecians. And this is a mighty account, man. I think this is a perfect time to touch on this account, especially the times that we coming in. You may have some brothers and sisters may have to go through this. It might be some brothers and sisters lot to have to go through what these 7 brothers and their mother went through. So I just want to touch on this. Lord willing, it be a spirit booster for brothers and sisters, just to keep the faith and just keep going, endure. So I'm going to start at verse 1. The 2nd Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 1. It said, and it came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. So you had some brothers, because it was when you read, especially when you read, let me get that real quick. 1st Maccabees, I think it's chapter 1. When you go to 1st Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 40. I'll start at verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus or Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his law, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yet many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifices and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, profanation. Yeah, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. Let me see if I want to keep going. I'm gonna jump to 57. And whosoever was found with the book of the testament or any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death, or put him to death. So like it, they should put him to death. So it was a time where during the Greek captivity, you couldn't even confess yourself to be an Israelite. You couldn't even keep your laws and commandments, and if you were, you got put to death. Right, you got put to death for that. So this is more than likely why these brothers and their mother got taken, because they was keeping the laws of God, so they finna get punished for that. And it says the king compelled. It said, and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh. So they are trying to get them basically to taste pork. Now, pork is against the commandments of God when you read Leviticus chapter 11, chapter 11, verse 7. And this is why you have people saying about pork. You can eat pork. You can eat pork. But you literally had our people literally during the Greek captivity. They chose death rather than eating pork. It says in the Leviticus 11:7-8, and the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. So these brothers and their mother, they knew that in the law, right, in our law, that we're not supposed to eat pork. But they was trying to force them to eat pork, right? They were trying to force our brothers, their mother, to eat pork, and it was like they was tormented and with scourges and whipped. They was getting punished. Brothers was getting whipped. They had some pork in front of their face. They probably was like, I'm not gonna eat that, and they got punished for not eating pork. So here you have it. They choosing torments over not eating pork, but you have a lot of our people freely eat pork and think it's okay. It says, but one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to... My bad, let me read it again. But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our father. So them brothers was ready to die. They're like, bro, we not finna eat no pork. We not finna eat no swine. We not finna go against our God and put that swine in our body. Now, if they would have ate that swine, they would have let them go free. They would have let them go freely if they would have ate the swine. But brothers is choosing. They just said we are ready to die. How many people, if they was in this situation where somebody delivered you up to the higher ups, they whipping you and tormenting you, and you got an option. If you just eat this pork, you don't got to get hit with this whip no more. If you eat this pork chop, these ribs, this pepperoni pizza, if you just eat this, you will be okay. You can go freely. We'll give you some money, and you can go freely. Now, how many people would be like, okay, all right, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna eat that pork. You're gonna have to kill me. How many people would say that? Especially a lot of these Christians out here, man. They already think you can eat pork. They already say, well, you can eat whatever you want to. So they would have been done and said, okay, let me just get that pork chop. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I can eat what I want to eat. I've been eating pork my whole life. So these brothers had to been keeping the law. They were actual real deal law keepers, to the point where they was going to rather choose to die than eat pork and transgress the laws of God. And that's how we got to be, man. We got to pray for that spirit in that day, to have that spirit to, like these brothers right here, be ready to die, instead of transgress the laws of God. It said, then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot. So now the king mad. The king like, dang. Like, and this how you know, bro, it's deeper than... This how you know it's deeper than just us, bro. They be trying to get us to transgress the laws of our God. The king is getting mad because brothers is saying we not finna eat pork. He's getting, like, people look at that as just a small matter. These higher ups, these presidents, these kings of today's world, they know how important it is, for us to stay in sin so they can continue to rule. So they're gonna try to keep our people in sin. So they want our people to defile this stuff with pork. That's why even in today's time, that's all you see. Pork on commercials. They coming out with a new hamburger with bacon on it, a new Baconator. That's all you see getting pushed. Pork chops, pork, swine. They're trying to get you to transgress against your God. And it says, he bringing pans, right? Hot. So he finna try to torture him and that's crazy. It says, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first. So the brother that spake first and basically said, you're gonna have to kill us. We're not finna transgress the laws of our God. He commanded them to cut out his tongue. and to cut off the utmost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. So you had the brother that spoke out for his brother saying, we not finna do this. They finna cut his tongue out. And guess what? He had his brothers, his other brothers, and his mother. They had to watch him get tortured. Now just think about that, man. Think about this playing out. Like, just say you with brothers that may teach. Go out and teach. Imagine you with your brothers you labor with, right? And y'all get in this situation. And you got to watch one of your brothers get his tongue cut out. And his body cut up. And you know that, like, dang, I'm finna be next. Now, do you be scared? Now, do you be like, oh my God, I need to go in and eat this pork. Oh my God, this ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Or you gonna be like, man, you know what? This is what we've been working for. We know that when we die, we're gonna wake up in that New Jerusalem. So it's like, that's why it's good to meditate upon these precepts, man. Meditate upon these precepts. Read, so you can have these precepts in your mind. So when that day comes to where if you may be in this situation when all hell break loose, you read this account right here, and you can meditate upon this account that I'm reading. But a lot of people that haven't read this account, they're not gonna meditate on it because they don't know about it. So it's good to definitely read, especially 2 Maccabees chapter 7, man. What I'm reading right now, it's a beautiful account to prepare yourself for the times that we coming in. It says, now when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him being yet alive to be brought to the fire. He was still alive, man. After all he was just went through, he was still alive, and he brought being yet alive to be brought to the fire and to be fried in a pan. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus. So they exhorting each other, man. By the brothers, he almost out of here. He done been through a lot, but he's still alive. And the mother is exhorting him, man, exhorting her son. They exhorting each other. Now they could have been scared. They could have been talking to each other. No, we can't do this, y'all. What we finna do? We need to get up out of here. They are exhorting each other to just continue on to keep the faith. Don't let this stop you. Remember what our forefathers were saying, right? Remember how hard you've been working. Remember the laws of God. Remember, they just exhorting each other during this time, man, while they in here watching their brother die, get tortured. Like that takes strength. That's only the Spirit of the Lord. Only anybody that's in the flesh not finna endure this. It's only the strength of the Lord for them to see their brother get his tongue cut out, right? Getting cut up alive, getting burnt to death, burnt alive, and they are still keeping the faith in the Most High God. They are still exhorting one another. Let's see what they were saying. It says exhorting one another with the mother to die manfully. So the mother is just imagine you being a mother for you women that have children. Imagine you being a mother and you watching your kids go through this. Imagine that. Verse 6, the Lord God looked upon us, and in the truth has comfort in us, as Moses and his son which witnessed to their faces declared, saying, he shall be comforted in his servants. So when the first was dead, so the first one died, after this number they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. So they Esau just wicked, man. It says, and when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body? But he answered in his own language and said, no. So understand, they peeled the skin off his head. Imagine you getting your skin peeled off. Like, imagine you getting your hair, or all your hair just getting peeled back. And then they did that to him, right? They asked him, are you ready to eat this pork now? Do you want to eat this swine now? Before we punish you, before we start cutting your fingers off, cutting your eye out, cutting your lips off? Are you ready to eat this pork now? He said, but he answered in his own language. So he probably said it in Hebrew. But he answered in his own language and said, no. Wherefore he also received the next torment in order as the former did. So he got the same torment as his brother did. But he said no. And all he had to do was eat some pork. But he said, I'm not doing that. Because I'm not finna transgress the laws of my God. And it said when he was at the last gasp. So when he had his last breath, finna die. What did he say? Did he say, I'm finna die? Bring the pork to me. I'm sorry. Please. I'm sorry. Don't kill me. What did he say? He said, thou like a fury taketh us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who hath died for his laws unto everlasting life. So you're like, bro, okay. You gonna kill me now? I'm gonna die right now. I'm just going to sleep. I'll be back. That's what he's saying. I'll be back. But the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life. So he not that, and that's what exhorting. I know they was exhorting each other. I know they told each other that too as well. Bro, you're gonna get brought back. This is not the end. Death is not the end. You only finna sleep for a little period of time, like the book of Revelation say. You're gonna sleep for a little period of time. You're gonna be brought back. You died for his laws. That's a free ticket into the kingdom of heaven. You was a martyr. You was a martyr for the faith. And it says, after him was the third made a mocking stock. So they got the third brother. The second one just died. They got the third one. They made him a mocking stock. And when he was required, he put out his tongue. And that right soon, my bad, let me read it again. It said, after him was the third made a mocking stock. And when he was required, he put out his tongue. And that right soon, holding forth his hands manfully. So he was watching his brothers get tormented. He was watching his two brothers get their tongue cut out. So he already had his tongue out. Like, go ahead and cut my tongue out. I already know what you finna do. I just seen what you did to my other two brothers. Go ahead and cut my tongue out. He already had his tongue out. He already had his hands out. He already was ready. What type of spirit is that? What type of spirit was these brothers in? Especially this brother right here, to already have his tongue out, ready to get cut out. That ain't nothing but the spirit of the Most High God. He said, he said, courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to receive them again. So he said, courageously, these I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them. So you're like, bro, the Most High God gave me these things, man. Everything that I have, everything the Most High God gave it to me. He said, for his laws I despise them, and from him I hope to receive them again. So it's like, and let's go back to that scripture that say, when you lose, roughly paraphrasing, I can't remember roughly paraphrasing, you basically gonna gain 10 more or tenfold. You lose what you got on this earth, you gonna gain more. So like, I hope to receive this again on the other side. And that's the type of mindset that we gotta have, man. This is the type of mindset that we gotta have. He was like, man, I everything, the Most High God gave me everything, man. And so I hope I get everlasting life. I hope I get it again on the other side. Get the laws of the commandments of the Most High God on the other side. And he said, and so much that the king and they that were with him marvel at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pains. So it's like he was in the spirit. Like, think about the other nations, they were surprised at his courage. They thought he was gonna fold. Just seeing his two brothers go through that, they thought he was gonna fold. And Esau, They don't understand the power that we have within us when we keep God's laws. He looking at it like, dang, if that was me, I would have folded. How is he still enduring this? Like, I'm doing everything I can to him. And that's even when you think about during slavery. They be wondering like, dang, how did they survive all this torture? If it was us, we would have been extinct. We would have died off. So they marvel at the things that we do, man. So the brother was in the spirit. They would marvel at like, dang, how is he enduring this pain, this high level of pain? It was nothing but the spirit of the Most High God. It says now when this man was dead, also they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner. They did the fourth brother the same exact way. So when he was ready to die, he said thus, it is good being put to death by men, to look for hope from God, to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. And that's mean. He's like, man, it's good to be put to death by you. Because I'm looking to be raised up again for that everlasting life. The same thing the other brother said. I'm looking to get raised up for everlasting life and everlasting peace. He like, for you not getting that. You're not finna get resurrected up for a resurrection of life of everlasting peace. You finna get that lake of fire. That's basically what he basically telling them they judgment. He like, I'm looking forward to getting raised up for everlasting life. I don't care about you killing me. It's a good thing. Go ahead and take me out of here. But for you ain't got nothing to look for but the lake of fire. You not finna get that peace. Afterwards, they brought the fifth. Also and mangled him. They did the same thing. And that's how that just show you. See, that's why they took the Apocrypha out the Bible. They don't want to tell you the truth. They don't want to tell you how the Greeks actually were. See, a lot of people glorify the Greeks. They glorify Alexander the Great. They glorify him in the Greeks. But they don't. This shows you how the true color of how the Greeks actually were, man. They were wicked and demonic people, nasty people. They didn't have no morals. They were torturing Israelites because they didn't want to eat pork. While they also got their mother looking at her children get tortured. It said, then looked he upon the king and said, thou hast power over men, thou art corrupt. It said, then looked he unto the king and said, thou hast power over men, thou art corruptible. Thou doest what thou wilt, yet think not that our nation is forsaken of God. So you're like, okay, you a king, you got rep, you got rank, okay, you got a little bit of power, but don't think that he forgot about the Israelites. Don't think just because y'all in rulership over us and doing all this and burning our Bibles and killing us, don't think for 1 second that our God forsaken us. He said, but abide a while, and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed. Woo, woo. Man, and that go back to that Obadiah, the whole book of Obadiah, and all the judgments in the Bible of these nations, chiefly Esau. He like, bro, don't think that it's sweet. He said, but abide a while. Okay, you gonna rule for a little bit, but you gonna get tormented, and your seed, and thy seed. Keep that in mind. Your seed line is finna get punished. That's deep, bro. I want y'all to truly understand. And that goes back. I gotta get this precept. That goes back to that Isaiah 14. It's Isaiah 14 and 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So that it's the same thing. Like when he said, and thy seed, they're gonna get judged as a nation of people. The nation of Edom, the Edomites, they're going to get judged in the other nations. They're going to get judged as a nation of people. The same way Israel got judged as a whole nation of people, as we all got brought over here on slave ships, right? We all turned into borrowers and proverbs. We all, as a whole, was cursed in the cities, cursed in the fields. Y'all going to get judged as a nation too. The seed line got to pay too, because the seed line, no, it's in them too. These acts of what their forefathers, the Greeks, were doing, it's in them too. They still benefit off the robbery and all the broken treaties that their forefathers did to have the things that they have now, to have the lands that they have now. So it's a wait, where was it? Yeah, I was at 17. And abide a while, and behold his great power, how he would torment thee and thy seed. So he telling him before he died, listen, bro. Like listen, okay, you gonna get tormented. All this stuff you been doing to me and my brothers, and you gonna do to my mom. Listen, you gonna get tormented in your seed line. Your seed line ain't finna escape none of this. What the Most High God finna do to you. He said, after him also they brought the six, who being ready to die said, be not deceived without cause. For we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our God. Therefore, marvelous things are done unto us. So he telling them, it's not you that's doing this to us. It's not because of you stronger than us. You got the power. We just weak. No, bro. We going through this because we disobeyed our God. We sinned against our God. So he's allowing us to go through this. Don't get the big head and think that you just superior over us. Because Esau got that pride. He think they superior. We doing this. We got the power to do this. No, it's because we disobeyed our God. If we never would disobeyed our God, there's no way you would have had us in this room right here, torturing us, trying to get us to eat pork. Ain't no way. It says, but think not thou that taketh in hand to strive against God, that thou shalt escape unpunished. Don't think. He telling him, don't think that you doing this to his chosen people. Don't think for any second that you finna escape your judgment. Basically what he's saying. Don't think that you doing this to us is justified. And the Most High God not finna do nothing to you. You're gonna get punished. You're gonna get punished. You trying to strive against the Most High. You calling yourself the Most High. You saying that it ain't nobody above you. It said, but the mother of these children, remember, she watched her children she watched her sons get killed. But the mother was marvelous above all and worthy of honorable memory. We got to remember this sister, man. I hate they don't really say her name or nothing like that, but we have to remember this sister, man. We don't know how old she was. We got to remember this sister. Honor this sister, man. This mighty. For when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of one day. Hey, a lot of mothers can't handle just one of their sons getting killed, let alone in front of them. She had to witness her 7 sons get tortured in front of her own eyes. It say, well, when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of one day, she buried with a good courage because of the hope that she had in the Lord. Bruh, what type of spirit was she in? This is the type of spirit we need to pray for. The spirit of the 7 brothers and the mother of in 2 Maccabees chapter 7. I know that it was bittersweet. You know, she probably was, sad for a little bit, but she also she was happy because think about this. She just watched her 7 sons die for the laws. So that reflect on her as, okay, I did my job. Right? I taught them good. Like, even in today's time, like, if you have a child that's bad, that reflect on the parents. People gonna look at the parents like, dang, why they don't never discipline their child. This so and so child, he bad. They don't never do nothing to make him do good. So it's like, and she had to be happy because her children didn't denounce the Lord. And she had to raise them up from birth. She had to raise them up from birth to She had to raise them. She had to raise them up from birth to be able to endure that. So it said read it again. It said Masalaki. It said she buried with a good courage because of the hope that she had in the Lord. It says, yes, she exhorted every one of them in her own language. So she exhorted them and now she exhorting them in their own language. So it's like the Greek guards or whatever that was doing this to him, they probably couldn't even understand what she was saying. They couldn't understand what she was. They couldn't understand what she was saying when she exhorted them. That's why she did it. She was like, I'm gonna exhort them in my language. They're not gonna be able to understand. It said filled with courageous spirits. Courageous spirits, and stirring up her womanist thoughts with a manly stomach, she said unto them. So she feel her woman thoughts. So she like, man, I gotta put my emotions. Basically, what she said, I gotta put my emotions to the side. I gotta put my emotions to the side and be bold. Basically, that's what it's saying. She got to be bold. She said unto them, I cannot tell how ye came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you. But doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake. So it says, now Antiochus or Antiochus, thinking himself despised and suspecting it to be a reproachful speech, with the youngest was yet alive, did not only exhort him by words, but also assured him with oaths that he would make him both a rich and a happy man if he would turn from the laws of his fathers, and that also he would take him for his friend and trust him with affairs. So Antiochus, he expected the mother to be like, give in, just eat it. That's what he expected from the mother. He expected the mother to, you know what I'm saying, to tell him that. So it says, and a happy man. So he basically said, okay, I will give you things. I'll make you rich. Just eat this pork. I just eat this pork. I'll make you my friend. That's what he's saying. Eat some pork. But when the young man would in no case hearken unto him, the king called his mother and exhorted her that she would counsel the young man to save his life. See? So like, hold up real quick. It said, but when the young man would in no case hearken unto him, the king called his mother and exhorted her that she would counsel the young man to save his life. So he went to the mother, right? He went to the mother. He was like, can you please tell your son to eat this pork? Can you please tell your son to bow down and denounce his laws? That's what he said. And when he had exhorted her with many words, she promised him that she would counsel her son. That's mighty, bro. So like, okay, I'm gonna talk to him. I'll talk to him for you. But she bound herself toward him, laughing the cruel tyrant to scorn, spake in her country language on this matter. O my son, have pity upon me that bare thee 9 months in my womb, and gave thee such 3 years, and nourished thee, and brought thee up unto his age, and endured the troubles education. I beseech thee, my son, look upon the heaven and the earth and all that is therein, and consider that God made them of things that were not, and so was mankind made likewise. Fear not this tormentor. So Antiochus think that he wanted her to go to her son and be like, you know what I'm saying, denounce the name of the Lord. But she actually exhorting him. She said, fear not this tormentor, but being worthy of thy brethren, take thy death, that I may receive thee again in mercy with my brethren. And you never know. This brother right here, he probably wasn't as strong as his other brothers was. So the Lord had it to where the mother was able to exhort him. You never know what the brother was going through. He could have been ready to tap out. You never know. But the mother exhorted him, right? She gave him strength. It says, but being worthy of thy brethren, take thy death, that I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren. That's mighty. She had hope that she was going to see him and his brothers again on the other side in the kingdom of heaven. While she was yet speaking these words, the young man said, whom wait ye for? I will not obey the king's commandment. He like, what you waiting for? So while she was still speaking to him, he was talking to the dude. He was like, what you waiting on? I'm not finna obey the king command to eat this pork, but I will obey the commandment of the law that was given unto our fathers by Moses. He like, bro, I'm finna die for this, bro. I'm finna die for this law. You gonna have to kill me. That's how powerful exhortation is. And thou that have been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews shall not escape the hands of God. He told him, bro, you not. And the other brothers told him that too. You not finna escape the judgment of God. You not. For we suffer because of our sins, and though the living Lord be angry with us a little while for our chastening and correction, yet shall he be at once again with his servants. But thou, O godless man, that's the Greeks, bro. Esau, they godless. Of all other most wicked, be not lifted up without a cause, nor puffed up with uncertain hopes, lifting up thy hand against the servants of God. For thou hast not yet escaped the judgment of the Almighty God, who seeth all things. For our brethren who now have suffered a short pain are dead under God. It says short pain, bro. Now, who's to say that the Most High didn't put a spirit on them to the point where they didn't even feel the pain? It said a short pain, like it was temporary. It could have had a spirit on them like that. Are dead under God's covenant of everlasting life. But thou, through the judgment of God, shall receive just punishment for thy pride. See that? You gonna get your judgment. The Most High God hates pride. You gonna get your judgment for your pride. Don't think that you got away with what you did to our people. Just because you're not getting judgment right now, when it's all said and done, you're gonna get your judgment and your seed, as the scripture said. But I, as my brethren, offer up my body in life for the laws of our fathers, beseeching God that he would speedily be merciful unto our nation, the Israelites, and that thou by torments and plagues mayest confess that he alone is God. So, hey, the Lord gonna bring that heat. He gonna bring that heat. You ain't gonna have no choice but to confess that he's the only God, not you. And that in me and my brethren, the wrath of the Almighty, which is justly brought upon our nation, may cease. Then the king being in a rage, handed him worse than all the rest, and took it grievously that he was mocked. So he did this brother worse than the other brothers before him, cause he felt like he was getting mocked, but he wasn't really getting mocked. The the brother just told him the truth. He didn't want to hear it. The pride. So he did him worse than he did the rest of them. So this man died undefiled and put his whole trust in the Lord. So he died undefiled. It's better to die. It's really better to die undefiled than, live breaking God's laws. It's better to die undefiled knowing that you didn't transgress the law rather than it is to live and to break God's laws. Last of all, after the sons, the mother died. It didn't really say too much about how she died, what they did to her. It says, let this be enough now to have spoken concerning the idolatrous feast and extreme tortures. So that's a beautiful, beautiful account, man. A beautiful account, and it shows you the faith that we gotta have, man. We gotta have that faith in the Father. We gotta build our faith up, cause this is coming back on the earth. Don't think that this was just back during the time of the Greeks. These torments and these things that they did to our forefathers, they're gonna do to some of us. So we gotta make sure that we constantly trying to stay in the spirit, man, and building that spirit man up, so we can be in the spirit like these brothers. They was in the spirit, man. It wasn't of them. They wasn't in the flesh. If they was in the flesh, they would have tapped out. They was in the spirit of the Most High God, Yahweh, man. So, Lord, when this video was edifying, I just want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Shema Shah. And we definitely got to make sure that we keep that the mother of these brothers, definitely honor her, man. A day that we honor her and just remember this. People want to remember 9/11. People want to remember 4th of July, the Declaration of Independence. They want to remember all this. They want to remember Pearl Harbor and things like that. But let's remember the mother and her 7 sons in the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 7. All right, so with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Shah. I say shalom.